Hey crew, what's up? It's Dr. Jared here, Health and Performance Center. We're going to discuss some of the considerations for 17.2. Was able to do that yesterday. Watched a couple of the great athletes at Premium do that. Duncan Bryan, Sierra Sellers. Discussed with the owner Nick Chapman there about his thoughts and possible modifications to what we were doing to see if we can pick up some more reps, find some efficiency, and match that all obviously with safety. So we put together a handful of things here just to make sure that this goes well. The big thing that we saw a lot on Thursday night and in what people were posting is, hey, save your grip, save your grip, save your grip. And realistically, with some of the things that we did, grip was not a factor. So we really put what grip up there for 17.2, and that's what we want you to feel by utilizing some of these strategies so that you're not limited in your gymnastic capability with kind of how your forearms are feeling. It's more your entire system. So the first thing is that front rack walking lunge. And we put that as number one because we think it's the most important, or at least I do, in terms of finding a ton of relaxation with that. There was two variants that some people used. Now both are acceptable. One I like a little bit more. The first one was just kind of resting that bell on the shoulder and kind of having that elbow way out to the side. It's good if you like it, if that's your jam and it feels real comfortable for you, go ahead and rock it. It's better than trying to hold this front rack that we saw a lot of people doing. That's just way too much grip, that's way too much arm. You're going to blow up through those small muscle groups over a 12-minute time period or time domain there. So if that's what you feel comfortable with, go ahead and do that. What we like a little bit more is if you take that bell and hammer curl it and then tilt it up and kind of close it behind your head. That allows you to get, we kind of say curl to the stand up. So stand it up so it's completely vertical. You can close that kind of chain by bringing it together, and then you're just sitting there relaxed and you have very little demand on keeping it balanced there. It forces you to stay upright so you can really regain your cardiovascular capability or deliver oxygen better because you're using your lungs better. And it just kind of reinforces your capability with the walking lunge. Instead of kind of buckling over every time, it almost forces you to stand up and keeps your weight back so you can keep that neutral spine and really pick up a lot of cardiovascular capability and be very efficient with that front rack walking lunge. The next thing is the toe to bar. And a lot of people are saying, hey, partition, partition, partition. Definitely believe in that. For me, I did 8-5-3. Just kind of got down, shook out, turned around, hopped back up, and got going again. I don't like the 6-6-4 or something that's where things are kind of the same rep scheme. What I like to do is kind of, when I'm a little bit fresher, starting that movement, compile a little bit more and have a stair step down. So I'm always feeling relatively the same instead of trying to hold on to kind of match those reps. So I like the 8-5-3 with a more elite athlete, looking at kind of an 11-5, where you're able to hold on to kind of your efficiency with the movement through those 11 reps. You drop, shake, turn, grab, and you get to 5, and you're kind of done hardly before you even start with that 5. So it's kind of it almost feels like you're cheating in a way of not doing those 16 reps, especially if you're real good. So either think of an 8-5-3 or an 11-5. The other thing is do a switch grip. Please do a switch grip. These two things right up here, as far as finding that relaxation in the front rack as well as doing a switch grip on the toe to bar. If you're capable of doing that, if you have the extension, flexion, external rotation, all of that position that we talked about yesterday through the thoracic spine and the shoulder, use that switch grip. It's just like a deadlift, right? You don't want to do a monkey grip or an overhand grip with your max effort deadlifts or your high rep deadlifts unless you're really trying to utilize or trying to build your grip strength. No, we want to do a switch grip so we're not limited by that grip strength and we save that grip strength. So if you can do that, it makes a huge difference on everything through your arms. Also, think no straps. I talked about this with one of the athletes that said, hey, for me, I felt like I was slipping on my second round of muscle ups, which I was dumping a lot of tension, making everything a little bit more exertional per repetition. If I wouldn't have had those, if they would have been dry and fresh for that first round of muscle ups instead of going through cleans and walking lunges and all of the toe to bars, I feel maybe that would be something that allowed that second round of muscle ups to be a little bit more efficient for me. So think about that. No straps through the toe to bars. Keep them ready for later on in the muscle ups. With the cleans, a 7-1 or a 6-2, 5-3, whatever your jam is. I went through 7 and 1, and that was solid for me. Got a quick little rest, and then was able to walk right into the walking lunges. The 6-2, some people did that. It's just, whatever you feel comfortable with is going to be good for you. The big thing, we kind of like more of the feet close. So you're a very narrow stance there. It provides plenty of space. You're able to open up and utilize your hip and maintain kind of that stability through the lumbar spine. Instead of kind of the wide grip, it just felt a little bit strange. It's like, hey, I want to find as much power and as much consistency with my Olympic lifts as I do with these dumbbells. And I think that the narrow feet supported that transition a little bit more. With the muscle ups, look at bigger sets for your first and second set. Nick Chapman, great gymnastic athlete, owner at Premium CrossFit, we were discussing he had partitioned them too much. He just felt like he left way too much in the tank towards the end of the workout. So we kind of said, hey, if you're an elite level gymnast with these muscle ups, or that's your thing, for him, I was saying, hey man, if you feel good enough, why don't you do, a 10-6 or maybe a 8-5, piece it together from there, just so you can get through that a little bit more efficiently, knowing you're going to save your grip in the walking lunge with kind of the front rack position that we're talking about. So looking at it, regardless of whether you're elites or whether you're in my realm definitely sub elite, hitting 2 big sets and then kind of piecing it together as you can there, so that you're not trying to, you don't have a plan and then it just dissolves because you're trying to do the same number of sets each time. I just think that's a little bit inefficient. The thing, again, have fresh straps so that you're not dumping tension. You have this nice grip that's reinforced with the strap if you can. But the biggest thing is enjoy the process. A lot of you, this might be your first attempt at muscle ups, and if we back this up, everything that we put out yesterday and everything that we discussed here today is perfect for both the scaled and the prescribed athletes. All the same movements, they're just different variations. So everything holds true here as far as your progression. But this muscle up is a big thing. It's kind of that gateway, type movement, whether it's a muscle up, a double under, whatever those things are. This muscle up is a big thing. So with that, there's a lot of emotion involved. And just remember, enjoy this process. If you get your first one, great. Celebrate it, enjoy it, be super happy. If you don't, celebrate and enjoy the process of learning more and taking bigger steps towards achievement of that goal, okay? So no matter what you do walking out of this, we want you to say you're a better athlete, or you understand the human body and human movement better because of what you just did here today. The last thing that we want to hear is you did 27 attempts at a muscle up and you tore your rotator cuff and now you're out for the open in the next 6 months. 10, 15 attempts maximum with that. Discuss the strategies with your coaches. Talk about how to get that lift through the kip so that you're weightless and can kind of pull yourself over. Do not try and effort this. Do not let emotion take over to kind of throw you into a bad position. Yes, use the adrenaline, use the environment to try and get that first one, but keep yourself honest, keep yourself under control so you can enjoy that process and then move on to 17.3 and continue having a great open. Guys, I hope this buys you not only more repetitions and efficiency, but also helps you understand how to stay efficient and game plan a WOD effectively so you have a great open. Good luck.